Bob Rosselli from theoryofliveevolution.com asks, on the subject of evolution theory, what is reality? After several debates with multiple evolution experts, including several authors, a physicist, and a college professor, Rob says this is the proper question to pose to the evolutionists. As with any debate, scientific, economic, and political, there are so-called experts on all sides who will argue unendingly. In the case of evolution, the following four facts are foundational considerations and go to the core of the veracity of evolution teaching. Fact number one, there is no physical fossil record of even one single mutant involving species anywhere. There are a lot of artist renditions, anecdotal evidence, and claims of such things, but that's it. One cannot walk into a college laboratory and find the fossil evidence. One cannot walk into the Museum of Natural History and find the evidence. A verifiable and actual fossil record of evolution simply does not exist. So if there truly were millions of mutant morphing stages between animals and man, as the mad scientists claim, then don't you think a single one of these millions of life forms might show up in the fossil record? Rob asks. Number two, Rob says Charles Darwin himself admits that his theory can't explain our human instinct or origins. Check it out for yourself, he says, in Chapter 7 on the topic of instinct in the origin of species or the preservation of the favored races in the struggle for life. By the way, with a title like that, is it any wonder, Rob says, that Darwin served as a major inspiration to Margaret Sanger, who founded the largest chain of abortion clinics in the United States, Planned Parenthood, based on her, quote, Negro Project, aimed at aborting black babies. And does another infamous person come to mind when you hear the last half of the title of Darwin's book, The Preservation of the Favored Races? Can we find Adolf Hitler in this fossil record, do you suppose? Fact number three, evolutionary scientists are all over the map, Rob says, on what evolution actually is. Multiple accounts of evolution by evolutionists themselves tell very different stories as their own theories keep evolving. Consider these headlines. From Scientific American, October 2010, quote, human evolution is not over. How our species is still evolving over time. And then from Discover magazine, November 2010, quote, did life begin in space? If evolution is science, Rob asks, wouldn't they know this already? Then from Mail Online, August the 1st, 2011, quote, the end of evolution? Scientists say human brain may have reached full capacity, end quote. Apparently, they didn't read the aforementioned article from Scientific American. And from Mail Online, October the 14th, 2011, quote, humans are descended from fish-like animals with a, quote, sixth sense. Rob asks, so does this mean that fish came from the constellation Orion? And finally, Rob says, number four, in order for the theory of evolution and the Big Bang to be true, four of the most well-established laws of science must be compromised in one way or another. Newton's laws of motion, the laws of thermodynamics, the law of biogenesis, and Kepler's law of planetary motion. Rob Rosselli says that evolutionists may see this particular video and hem and haw and hold in derision the points that are made, but realize this. Their so-called scientific theory can never be proven or tested empirically, as scientific hypotheses are supposed to be tested, and at its core, evolution grants infinite latitude to those who support its claims. Rob continues, in a word, it appears to be more insanity than real science. Think about what they're really saying. Any substance X of unknown chemical constitution can evolve into any other thing. An amoeba can evolve into a human. Lifeless carbon can become a man. Hydrogen can evolve into a human brain. And so on, and so on. Rob claims you don't need a PhD in astrophysics to know all of this. This then should be the approach taken when talking to evolutionists. Simply throw the theory back upon them. One does not have to accept their preposterous theories as settled foundational truth. Robb urges, demand this of those prodigious pseudoscience prognosticators. Mr. Evolutionist, prove your own theory. You come up with the scientific experiment to prove your suppositions. You prove that a pile of carbon can turn into a human brain. You prove that lime and iron can evolve into a city. Evolutionists unable to prove their own theory with standard scientific approaches will likely then devolve from sober science into a sheer emotion, decrying religion as the opiate of the masses, as an ignorant non-scientific crutch, or worse. But after all the sophomoric clamoring and criticism, they must get down to brass tacks, so to speak. Produce the experiments. Produce the mysterious substance X that started it all. Produce something, anything, that resembles a valid scientific experiment. And so this brings us back to the original question, Robb says. On the subject of evolutionary theory, what is reality?